Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of my videos, and today I wanted to show you another recap of one of my games this season. Now, this particular game, once again, up against in my local club. My opponent's rating, I think he was about maybe 1450 or something, so not a particularly high rated opponent compared to what I normally play against, but still a formidable opponent. He's one of these players, I've played him in the past before, very good in the opening. Like really strong opening theoretician, but then tends to, like many players at that level, tend to fade off as they go into the end game or the middle game. So let's have a look, see how I fared in the opening against him. So e4, e6, d4, d5, and we go into an advanced French. So interesting enough, this is my first French defence game of the season. But I've actually now played this season, I haven't shown the other games yet, 3 different French defences, which, yeah, it's interesting that, again, it's very popular at the club level. You do tend to see it quite a lot, and, you know, you just need to have something ready to play against it. Now, I do play the advanced variation. Interesting enough, when I used to play the French myself, as you know, I do have on my channel my E6 repertoire guide. I actually find playing against the advanced variation probably the easiest variation to play as black, because you're just looking for the counter breaks. But I think there are still some really interesting gambits in this particular line out of the I guess you could say the 3 main responses, or 4 main responses if you count the exchange French against the French defence. Okay, in any case, c5 was played. Now I play c3, defending my pawn. So just to give you some ideas what is going on, black is going to be trying to put a lot of pressure on this d5 square. So that's basically his whole plan. Get as many pieces as possible, maybe knights, like this, and just attack this d4 square. If I lose this d4 square, it's kind of curtains. It's game over in this position, as he will then have his ideal 2-to-1 pawn majority in the centre, and it's just not going to be a great position for me. Okay, so bishop to d7 was played, knight to f3, and knight to c6. Just so you're aware why d7 is played, there are a few little tactics involving the light square diagonal, just to show you that. If, let's say, black plays this, and after something like this, it may look really tempting to go, "Ooh, free pawn, happy days." You weren't defending it. The problem with this is after the knight captures, we get this very nasty check here, picking up the queen, which is why often this bishop will come to d7 early to sort of prevent that particular thing from happening. So going back to the game, I guess another reason why it's also played is it's just trying to find a way to develop this bishop somewhere along this diagonal and try and get out the game. This is black's bad bishop, but it's not so bad because quite often it will help in the defensive duties on e6, and if this pawn ever captures on f5, if let's say this pawn starts rushing down, then at the very least the bishop will then tuck in and just play a big defensive role in holding black's position together. Okay, enough theory about that. Let's have a look at the actual game. So bishop d3 was played, he then captured. Now he played knights g to e7, and it's a bit of an odd move. I've not really encountered this line too much because well, basically, put it this way, normally you'll see first the queen coming here and then maybe follow the knight, or sometimes the knight coming out to h6, but with it coming here, it kind of blocks in the bishop just for the time being. Now, what I should have played in this position, when I looked at the database on this, interesting enough, I think it recommends, well, no, it doesn't actually. I was thinking that bishop to g5 was a recommendation, but maybe not in this variation. Because now after this, well, it looks a bit awkward for white. He's got to deal with this pawn threat. And if he just simply puts his queen onto this square, then you just run into this attack from the rook. So the best move is just a castle, which is what I did here. But weirdly, again, the engine says this is kind of like an inaccuracy, although it's the most popular line. Knight to c3 is the most played move here. At the very least, you're getting your knight to a very active square, and it's influencing the game. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, you can jump it into this d6 square, and because the bishop is being blocked in by the knight, this is a very awkward situation because this would obviously be a smothered checkmate. Okay, in any case, right, bishop, queen here came here, so now hitting this pawn, and we've got two attacks going on here. I develop my bishop along there. Oh, sorry, this didn't happen in the game. Sorry, castles. These moves didn't happen. I was thinking, like, hold on a minute, I don't remember playing this. So castles, knight to f5, now hitting here. So at this point, I now capture this knight. And, you know, it's not a terrible position for black. You know, I've played this on the black side a little bit, but I guess you can kind of clearly see, okay, there's double pawns going on here. This bishop's going to have to come to the square. And after the knight move, I just get a tempo because now he has to play bishop to e6, and I'm feeling quite happy about my position. Here I now put my bishop onto g5. I thought I would develop it and at least maybe start tickling the bishop, and, you know, hopefully he might try and create a weakness here, I don't know. But now he just plays queen to b6, and I put my queen onto d2, now guarding these two squares. The computer was recommending this move, which is why it said it was an inaccuracy. And again, I've played these particular lines on. I've seen it on the white side. This really annoying knight to a4 move, which can really challenge that queen on that square. I would be interested if I just have a quick look at the engine. What happens after something like this? I think now it's just saying bishop. Yeah, knight e1, oh my goodness, some weird stuff going on there. So yeah, I'm not entirely convinced by that engine line. But anyway, right, so let's close that off. So now we had h6, bishop came back to e3, g5 is played. So I guess this was maybe the downside of playing this bishop is now, well, this attack is going to start coming. And because he's not castled yet, he can kind of get away with this stuff because the centre's still quite closed. He might keep his king there and then start doing a big kingside attack. So I first have to play g3. If I don't play g3, then, well, f4 is coming in, and my bishop is then trapped, so I play g3 to stop that. Castles long was then played. A very pugnacious move, and I put my rook onto that open file. He just tucks his king onto b8 to get it out of any danger, a very good move. And, well, I kind of felt actually that maybe my position wasn't so amazing here, because now he's got this kind of ready-made attack. He's got a lot of these pawns pushing down. He's going to be looking to maybe get his other rooks, his bishop along, and well, it's starting to look a little bit ropey for me. So as I say, you know, this my opponent started out in the starting blocks, plays particularly well in this particular game. Okay, I now put my knight now onto a4. I thought the counter-attack is on. He now decided to play b4, and this was a very interesting decision. I'm not sure it's the right decision strategically to swap the queens, particularly in this situation where, you know, he's got a lot of further advanced pawns. If I'm able to survive this particular pawn storm, then he's just got a lot of pawn weaknesses that I can then go after. So I was very happy to swap off. His bishop took back, and again, I didn't think this was a great move either, because I think knight b4 is probably better, and then maybe he'd be looking to just be annoying and jump into this sort of square or something like this. But with the bishop capturing, this now allows me to play a3, so I get a nice tempo on the bishop. And well, this bishop has to just go back. If it goes back all the way over here, then I can hit it again, and after the bishop goes back, then I just jump into this nice square, and I've got a very nice position. This bishop might have to swap off, in which case I've got this very nice pawn structure. I might get my rooks onto here, and yeah, I'm not too sure how black would manage to deal with this particular position. If I whack on the engine, I mean, interesting though, it does say that actually black is probably winning here, albeit, let's see, takes, taking the rook here in this situation, so that's probably a little bit better. And yeah, then I've still got this open file to work with. Okay, so let's have a look. b4 was then played. I jumped my knight into that nice square. And really at this point, I just decided, for whatever reason, I decided just to take off the bishop. Because my idea here was that, okay, you know, this maybe I can get this other knight and then reroute it round and then jump back into that square again. So he took off. So that just sort of is pawn issues out, but now I've got a little target, so backwards pawn to maybe go after. Now this pawn was pushed forward, I now jump my knight back, and as I say, I'm going to just go into that square and cause them all kinds of problems. Okay, the pawns were pushed forward. I'm not super worried about all of these threats. And now at this point I now jump my rook in here. There was a nasty trap in this line with the knight's capture here, taking advantage of this pin, so I have to play this rook move just to stop that from happening. So some little tricky tactics. And here is the kind of the key blunder of the game, b6. So yeah, I think up to this point he was probably doing fine. If I whack on the engine, okay, it gives me a slight edge, but there's nothing significant in this game. But b6 is just a terrible blunder because now he no longer has the anchoring of his knight. And as I say, after the game we discussed it in detail, and I just said b6 was just an awful move. So I don't really understand why he played it. I think he was worried about the potential knight just coming here, and he wanted to stop this. But as I say, this now gets rid of the anchoring of this knight. So after I capture, he took back. Now look at this, I've got a nasty pin on the knight. Now it's not won just yet, but after the king goes here, now I can push forward, and well, this knight is going to go. He comes back, but what's really nice about this for me is, okay, I don't win a piece, but after the exchange, look at this knight. Look how terrible it is. It can't go to these two squares. This square's out of bounds. It's going to take 2 moves to kind of get back into the game. And in the meanwhile, I'm just going to move my knight over here, and I'm hitting this pawn, and there's nothing he can do about it. He can't defend it with his rook because, well, obviously you get taken by the knight. So his whole position just starts to collapse here. He moves his knight rook back to g7. I now capture. His rook comes to h7, and I just infiltrate with my rook now. Again, this knight cannot do anything. If it actually plays here now, I just throw in a nasty check and just be really annoying. So he tries to go for a little attack maybe, but it doesn't really matter. I just move my king over here and everything is nice and safe. I took back, and this rook's not going to do anything. There's no way he can break through on this side. So I've got rid of all of his counterplay, and it's just a matter of time before his position starts to really crumble here. Here he actually makes a blunder. He now plays rook to h6, and you could probably hopefully see the really nice tactic that wins this game. So it is the move knight to d8, which is what I played, throwing in the check, and then winning this rook on the spot. And well, at this point my opponent resigned here, but if he did play on something like this, I would then take this rook, and yeah, it's just a very miserable looking position. So yeah, as I say, an interesting game. I didn't necessarily play that particularly well. I think I kind of got maybe the wrong plans here with bishop to g5 followed by queen to d2. But I kept it interesting. I did start hitting this king, and actually I think after the queen try I was quite happy with my position at this point. Getting my knight into that square was really good. And then yeah, I like this plan of just doing this sort of stuff. Obviously the key blunder for my opponent b6 doesn't look like much of a blunder, but like strategically, positionally, it just loses on the spot for my opponent here. So yeah, after all of this, I then managed to win the game quite comfortably. This is very nice after these exchanges, because there's actually nothing he can do about this pawn, which I thought was quite interesting. So, and then I was able to win the game quite comfortably. So there we go, another nice win. I promise I will show some of my losses, but as I say, I'm unbeaten up to this point. Unbeaten. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked what you see, if you like my discussions on the French, let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care, bye.